In news from Jamaica, health sector in shambles and in dire need of attention. That's the general consensus of most Jamaicans following the release of the damning health audit and the deaths of 19 premature babies at 2 public hospitals. In light of those discrepancies, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller is assuring the country that her government is moving quickly to address the shortcomings in the health sector. In a broadcast to the nation on Sunday, Mrs. Simpson-Miller noted that the newly appointed Health Minister Horace Daly has been charged to address the inherent weaknesses. The audit report of the health sector revealed a lack of adherence to standards on sanitary surgical rooms and a severe shortage of resources.
I have given instructions to the new Minister of Health, the Honorable Horace Daly, that every effort must be made as quickly as possible to correct the shortcomings in the health sector. He has served as health minister before, and he knows the system very well. He has assured me that his first order of business will be to strengthen the system of healthcare delivery to eliminate the deaths of babies or adults from causes such as bacterial outbreaks.
Mrs. Simpson-Miller argues that the government has done a lot to decrease maternal and prenatal fatalities. She, however, concedes that the internal health audit has pinpointed several deficiencies.
This experience has been especially hurtful because my administration has done so much over the past 4 years to reduce the number of deaths of mothers and babies during childbirth. We have made major investments in improving the healthcare delivery system, but gaps remain. The internal audit of the sector, which was commissioned by the Honorable Dr. Fenton Ferguson, and which the government has now released in full to the public, gives an indication of just how much work we still have to do in this critical area of national life.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister did not address calls by the opposition JLP and some members of civil society for former Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson to resign. Instead, she said accountability must be shared among all in the health sector. There have been calls for Dr. Ferguson to step down over what many has described as his poor handling of a bacterial outbreak that killed 19 babies.
I have also instructed Minister Daly to review the reporting structure between the regions and the Ministry of Health. Every hospital in Jamaica has a management team, including a senior medical officer and administrators. Everyone must be held accountable. Our task is to ensure that as much as it is humanly possible, we eliminate such tragedies which cause great pain to our mothers, families, and our nation.
Dr. Ferguson has been reassigned as Minister of Labour and Social Security. His new role took effect on Monday, and the Prime Minister also apologized to the families impacted.
The government feels the anguish of the mothers and fathers who have lost their babies. We are truly sorry for your pain and the loss of these precious lives. Our children should never suffer, and it is our responsibility to make sure we protect them and give them the best life possible.
Meanwhile, President of the Nurses Association of Jamaica, NAJ, Janet Farr, says it will take more than promises to have the ills plaguing the health sector substantially addressed. The NAJ president says the health sector has been grappling with insufficient resources and attention for years.
She claims that there are major investment in improving the healthcare delivery system, but there are gaps, and I appreciate that. We all know that. Right? We look at the audit. She looked at the audit by Fenton Ferguson. She has given instructions to the new Minister of Health, who is the Honorable Horace Daly, that every effort was being made as quickly as possible to correct the shortcomings of the health sector. Now, the correction of the health in the shortcomings in the health sector is not going to be overnight, because this health sector has been riddled with problems for years. You understand? So it cannot be overnight. So even though she's going to give us the assurance, you know, and I know Minister Daly is going to have his hands full, but it really cannot, you know, to me there are a lot of other heads that need to go as well.
Mrs. Farr says it's unfortunate the series of events that has forced the government to act.
The health system has been under pressure for many years. The nurses are the ones who have been propping up the health sector by making do with what they have and doing all kinds of things to make things happen, right? And they complain, but nothing happens until something like this happens. It's unfortunate, right? She is trying to reassure the patient, the families and the mothers who have lost the babies and so on. And she, you know, she has pledged that she will move forward to strengthen the foundations for the progress in our country. You know, that's what she can say at this time. It really is not. It's very unfortunate, but, you know, the whole health sector has been shaking for a long time.